Good morning, good afternoon, folks, depending on where you are in the country. Appreciate you taking some time to join me today. My name is Luke Vandermillen. I'm the Director of Business Development here at RPAG. And today I'm really excited to talk to you about something that I think makes the RPAG technology platform really special and different is efficiency. I know some of the folks that are going to be on today's webinar have been longtime users of the RPAG platform. We even got a couple new folks as well. Um, One of the things that we do here at RPAG is every week we sit down with our technology team and we think of ways that we can make our platform better and more effective for the RPAG advisor community. And one of the kind of main flagship ideas that we have in that meeting every week is we think about processes that take advisors, let's say, an hour every quarter, and we think about how we can make that process 5 to 10 minutes. Now, saving an advisor 45 minutes on a task maybe doesn't seem like a lot, but when you extrapolate that idea to a task that you do for every single one of your clients or every single one of your prospects, you see over a year's time span how much time you're saving. And so what I wanted to talk about today was some key pieces of the RPAG technology suite that can help you save a lot of time in your servicing and prospecting processes. So we'll be highlighting a few of my favorite areas of the RPAG technology suite today. Let's go ahead and get started here. So just by way of really quick introduction, RPAG stands for Retirement Plan Advisory Group. We are a firm based out of Southern California in the Orange County area. And really what our mission statement is to help retirement plan advisors excel in this space and help make their lives a little bit easier via a variety of different solutions. One of which I'll be focusing on today is our technology platform, the RPAG Advisor Portal. So RPAG, we've been in business now for about 20 years. Actually, next month we'll be celebrating our 20th anniversary at the Ritz-Carlton in Dana Point at the RPAG National Conference. Hope to see some of you folks there for that celebration. It'll be the biggest one yet. But over these 20 years, we've built a network of advisor that ranges across all 50 states. And you can see here pretty tremendous reach in terms of how many advisors we touch, how many plans we touch, and how many participants we've engaged over these years. So we have become the most elite network of retirement plan advisors in the industry at this point. So like I mentioned a little bit earlier, what we're really going to be focusing on today is the technology platform for RPAG. But I'd be remiss if I didn't at least quickly touch on the amazing team of people that support our technology platform. Here at RPAG, we are retirement plan people. So everyone here that works at RPAG is retirement plan focused. And we're also service oriented. We like to think of ourselves as not a technology company, but a service oriented organization that happens to have really great technology. And to illustrate that, we have quite a bit of expertise here on staff at RPAG that's accessible by RPAG members. So whether it's some of the great folks on our investment team, some of our CFA charter holders and former portfolio managers, whether it's, some of our RFP and fee benchmarking specialists to help navigate that sometimes complex world of record keepers and TPAs, or if it's just financial professional support is, helping advisors on a day-to-day basis get the most out of the technology platform and other resources that they have available to them. We have a team of about 50 people here at RPAG that are really ready, willing, and able to assist the advisors and their staff that use our platform. So we take a lot of pride in the service that we provide to our advisors. Um, but dovetailing a little bit here into the technology side of things, we are the most robust retirement plan technology platform in the industry. And advisors that utilize our platform instantly have access to a wide suite of plan level reporting and other resources to help them excel in the retirement plan space. So whether it's investment performance reporting, fee benchmarking, fiduciary documentation, practice management, data aggregation, and even so much more. Advisors that use our technology platform have access, like I said, to the most robust suite of resources that you're going to see in our industry. Our idea here at RPAG is to give advisors every arrow in their quiver that they need to continue to excel in this space and to continue to win new business. So whether you need to analyze a target date series or provide an investment policy statement, RPAG has resources that with a couple clicks of a button you can create and deliver those important pieces of documentation to your clients and prospects through our system. So enough about us here at RPAG. I want to get into some of the efficiency tools that RPAG advisors have available to them. And hopefully, there'll be, even for the most seasoned RPAG advisor on this call, I'm hoping there's going to be a couple new things that you might learn here that hopefully make your lives a little bit easier. I know we all feel like sometimes there's not enough hours in the day. And so if you could take away something from this webinar that saves you even 5 minutes, I'd consider that a big success. So the first thing I want to talk about is plan data aggregation and business intelligence. So one of the kind of original purposes of our technology platform for retirement plan advisors was data aggregation. I know as folks in the retirement plan business, once your book of business grows to a certain point, you end up working with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus record keepers and have a book of business that spans quite a bit of different carriers. And so all those years ago when we developed our technology platform, one of the things that we wanted to provide to retirement plan advisors was a one-stop shop for advisors to be able to view their entire book of business in one spot. And so what we ended up developing is what we refer to now as Plan Asset Link, or PAL. And what PAL is a monthly data feed that we've set up with record keepers that allows RPAG to receive monthly data feeds directly from the top record keepers in the industry that update plan asset information for our advisors that use our platform. So every month, RPAG is receiving a data feed from all of these record keepers that you see on the right-hand side, plus even more that we couldn't even fit on the screen. That updates your fund lineups. So instead of you every month or every quarter having to go into your technology platform and key in the new asset information for each of your plans for reporting purposes, that's being updated for you automatically every month. For those of you who might be leveraging Plan Asset Link already, please know that we're always adding more record keepers and even custodians onto our data feed. So make sure that you check out the Plan Asset Link or PAL overview document in the RPAG Resource Center. There's always, like I said, new carriers being added onto that every year. So Plan Asset Link is kind of the first place where when I think of efficiency, we're saving you time and updating on a monthly basis the asset information within RPAG. Now, all of that plan asset information is going to aggregate into the main RPAG dashboard. So what you're seeing on the right-hand side of the screen there is what an individual would see when they log into the RPAG platform. So not only is this going to aggregate things like your revenue, your prospecting pipeline, give you an update on the data feeds from record keepers, but there's also a task management system built into RPAG. So one of the things that we've put a big focus on with our technology platform over the last couple of years is building out workflow capabilities within our platform to make sure that all of the little tasks and services that advisors and their team need to complete to keep their business running smoothly, that our system is going to help remind those folks of those tasks. So within each client within RPAG or each plan within our system, there's what we call a service plan. And that's where you can map out over a 12-month period what services you're going to be providing to that particular plan. And then for each plan, their service plan actually aggregates to this main homepage here where the system will notify you when you have an upcoming meeting or an upcoming task to do so that you can make sure that if you have an investment review meeting coming up next week with plan ABC, that the system will remind you to create the investment review report so that you have that ready to go ahead of time. Really, any task can be tracked through the RPAG system to make sure that everything's getting done in a timely manner for your team. The other piece of this dashboard that's really important is what we call advisor IQ. And what this does is essentially aggregate all of the plan data within your book of business into one screen so that you have a consolidated look at your book of business with a click of a button. So on the left-hand side there, you can see a quick snapshot of what Advisor IQ looks like. What this provides for you on the advisory side is with a click of a button, if you needed to see, for instance, what does your book of business look like with a certain record keeper? You see down in the bottom left of that screenshot on the left side of your screen, there's a plans by provider widget. If you click on any of the providers that are listed there, all of the information that's on that dashboard is going to dynamically change for you in 1 second and show you information that is only related to the book of business you have with that specific provider. And that goes for any of the data that you'll see on that screen. So if you needed to look at, if you have multiple advisors on your team and you need to see what the book of business looks like for a particular advisor, or if you wanted to see, for a particular investment vehicle, how many plans you're using it with, and how many plans per provider do you use that investment vehicle with. You can use this dashboard to slice and dice information on your retirement plan book of business to give you a quick snapshot of whatever metrics you need to. Um, Also with this dashboard, you'll see if you go into Advisor IQ on the RPAG Advisor portal, you'll actually see in the top right-hand corner of that screen, you'll see a button that says Switch to Advisor Reports. And what Advisor Reports is it's a mechanism within RPAG that allows you to extract any of the information that you have in RPAG into an Excel format. So, for instance, if I needed to pull an Excel file of all of the plans in my book of business with a certain record keeper, or I wanted to pull a list of plans that I have with, a certain mutual fund. I'm actually going to pull this up live for you folks here and give you a quick overview of what this looks like. So, just a second here, I'm going to actually pull up the RPAG advisor portal and show you what this is going to look like. But with the RPAG advisor portal, with the advisor IQ dashboard here, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up now for you. So up in the right-hand corner, you'll see Advisor IQ in the top right hand of the screen. This is going to pull up the dashboard that I was just referencing a moment ago. That's going to give you all these different insights into your book of business. Like I was saying earlier, if you need to filter any of this information, let's say, I want to look at all this information related to, my particular book of business. I could click on my name down here in the bottom right-hand corner, and this will actually filter all of this information related to my particular book of business. So you can see here, I've got 5 plans with $34 million in AUA. Here are the record keepers I'm using, so on and so forth. And then, like I mentioned in the top right-hand corner here, I can click Switch to Advisor Reports. And there are dozens and dozens of different reports that you can run from this particular mechanism. Whether it's, if I want to click on clients or prospect here, and I wanted to pull an Excel sheet of all of my plans and their key contacts, or here's one that I use quite a bit, or I tell advisors to use quite a bit, is this advisor compensation sub-report here is fantastic for ADV reporting. So with a click of a button here, I can pull a list of all of my clients that we have in RPAG and the compensation that's associated with each client. So I get a real-time look at the revenue that we're receiving from each of the plans in our book of business. Lastly, too, if, let's say I wanted to see, I wanted to pull a list of all of my plans in RPAG that have auto enroll, or I wanted to see a quick look at what the plan entry dates are for each of my plans. I have the ability to pull that information here. Like I said, dozens and dozens of more resources available for you. So if your team ever needs information about your retirement plan book of business, not only is RPAG a great reporting platform for you to create, things like investment reporting, fee benchmarking, and all of the great things that I mentioned earlier, but it's also a place for you to run a lot of business intelligence type reporting. So if you haven't used Advisor IQ or Advisor Reports, I highly recommend doing so. So moving on here, speaking of investment performance reporting, I know a lot of you folks on the call are probably familiar with the RPAG investment reporting and specifically the RPAG scorecard. So if you're not familiar with the RPAG scorecard, we here at RPAG have developed a proprietary scoring system that we use to evaluate the suitability of investment vehicles and their inclusion in retirement plans. So what we've developed is kind of a turnkey solution here for advisors to quickly get a robust analysis of an investment vehicle and how suitable it is for a retirement plan. So what we're aiming to do with this scorecard system is actually identify how skillful a manager is and how suitable a fund is to be included in a retirement plan. So what I've pulled up on the screen here is a quick look at the metrics that we use for our scorecard methodology. You see, we use a mixture of style, risk return, peer group performance, and then a 2-point qualitative metric to total out our 10-point score. And then based on how a fund scores within our 10-point scoring methodology, we assign it a status, which you can see on the far left of the screen. So if a fund is acceptable, if we put it on the watch list, or if we put a fund up for review, um, you'll see that reflected in our system and updated every quarter based on this scoring methodology that you see here. The other thing about our scoring methodology too, that's a little bit different than other platforms you'll see in the industry, is one of the main focuses on the RPAG scorecard system is we are evaluating investment vehicle based on its stated investment objective. So if the fund is a large cap value fund that is chasing returns, we are going to evaluate the fund partly on how well the returns look in comparison to its peer group. Conversely, if we have a passive index fund that's purpose is to track an index, you can see here in that passive fund column, we are going to place a heavier emphasis on the style behaviors of the fund and how well it tracks that index. So the scorecard methodology is a quick and easy way for you to give an analysis for your clients and prospects on how well a investment is performing and how suitable it is to be included in a retirement plan. Along with that scoring methodology, we have a wide variety of investment due diligence deliverables that you can leverage through the RPAG Advisor portal. So whether it's your classic investment review that you're taking to clients, whether it's, creating a specific report to evaluate stable value funds or pulling fund fact sheets or even doing custom model reporting. All of these different resources are available through that same advisor portal that I just pulled up a moment ago. Another question that I get asked quite a bit that I wanted to make sure I mention here is RPAG's investment methodology not only evaluates mutual funds, but it also takes a look at CITs, separate accounts, even some annuity products as well. So a really wide variety of different investment reporting that you can do for a lot of different types of investment vehicles that are included in your clients' retirement plans. So how do we efficiently leverage that scorecard system and make our investment performance reporting process every quarter as easy as possible? The first place I always point folks to is batch considerations. What batch considerations does is it aggregates your entire book of business and all of the funds that are in each of the lineups for your clients and basically puts each of the funds into one of those three buckets that I was talking about earlier: review, watch list, and acceptable. The system again sorts all of your funds based on the RPAG score and allows you on one screen to do a comprehensive analysis of your book of business and the funds that are in each of your clients' plans. So instead of going client by client, one by one, and looking at, the 20 funds that are in each lineup and how they score, on one screen, you get a comprehensive look at all of your clients. And also you can make fund recommendations for this page or on this page. So for instance, if you have a large cap value fund that's underperforming, that's in a few of your clients' different lineups, on this batch consideration screen, you can actually, with a click of a button, do research and look for alternative large cap value funds that might be more suitable for your clients. and then also make a global fund change right from the screen here. So if you have, if you're switching large cap value A to large cap value B in a multitude of your plans, you can use batch considerations for that. You can also do it on a client by client basis as well if you like. So batch considerations is a great way at the beginning of every quarter to do a kind of comprehensive book of business fund analysis so that you don't have to do it one by one with your clients' lineups. And then corresponding with batch considerations, we have the batch reporting feature, which if you're an RPAG user and you haven't utilized batch reporting recently, I highly, highly recommend that you do so. So the batch reporting feature takes that batch considerations process that we just talked about a step further. Batch reporting allows you to do the same thing as batch considerations, where you're making looking at your entire book of business and making fund recommendations. But then after you make your fund recommendations, you can actually run multiple investment review reports at one time. So instead of going, again, client by client and running investment review by investment review by investment review, you can go into batch reporting and actually run 50, 75, 100 investment reviews at one time from one screen. So if I have a list of clients that I want to run, or if I just want to run all of the investment review reports for my whole book of business at one time, I can go into batch reporting and do that from one screen. The other thing about batch reporting, and we'll talk about this a little bit more in a second, but when you run batch reports through our system, you have the ability to review each individual report if you'd like, or with a click of a button, you can upload the batch reports into each client's fiduciary briefcase. And if you're not familiar with the fiduciary briefcase, it is a plan sponsor facing online fiduciary file that's built right into the RPAG platform. It works as a great fiduciary documentation tool so that your clients have 24/7 access to all of their important reports and other documents related to their retirement plan. But the other piece of the fiduciary briefcase that's really important is that it works as a report delivery mechanism. So instead of downloading a report from RPAG and then emailing it to a client, you can just with a click of a button upload the report into the fiduciary briefcase, and your client will actually get a notification that says, hey, your advisor has uploaded a report into the fiduciary briefcase for you. So that, again, you're not downloading and emailing the report, you're just uploading it to the fiduciary briefcase, and boom, your client has instantaneous 24/7 access to that report. They also, going forward, will have the ability to pull up old reports that you've run for them, and again, any other documentation that you've uploaded in there for them. So again, highly recommend using batch reporting. One other note on batch reporting too is that a few quarters ago, RPAG invested a substantial amount of our capital into increasing the server space that we had dedicated to the batch reporting functionality within our website. So now the batch reporting feature runs faster than it ever did before, and it can handle more reports than it did before. So if you used batch reporting in the past and haven't used it recently, I highly recommend that you do so. So moving on to more of our reporting suite, one of the things I get asked about all the time is our RFP and fee benchmarking resources. So if you're not familiar with the different RFP and fee benchmarking resources within RPAG, we have kind of three different types of reports that you can run on that front through our system. On the far left is the provider analysis, which is our longest standing RFP report that allows you to get live bid quotes from any record keeper in the industry that you like. We have our Plan Fees Prism and Prism 365 report that within 30 seconds, you can put together a comprehensive but easy to understand fee benchmarking report that benchmarks record keeping, TPA, investment, and advisory services all in one spot for you that you can take to a client. And then our latest and greatest enhancement on this front is the RFP Express tool, which is kind of a marriage between the ease of use of Plan Fees Prism and Prism 365 and the live bid aspect of the provider analysis, where through RFP Express, you can actually type in information about a plan, and then it'll search our database of pricing information from record keepers and give you actual instantaneous pricing quotes from the top record keepers in the industry. So again, for provider analysis, if you haven't used this before, the beautiful thing about this report is that you can actually send requests for proposals directly through the RPAG system. And then the record keepers, instead of emailing you as the advisor a PDF or PowerPoint quote, the record keepers actually upload their proposals into the RPAG system, and then the RPAG advisor portal will put those different proposals into an apples to apples format for you automatically. So instead of having to take all these different formats from the different record keepers and put it into a spreadsheet, our system does it for you. So this provider analysis requires little to no manual entry from the advisor point of view. It's really about managing the process and making sure that the record keepers quote based on your specifications. The other reports, like I mentioned earlier, the Plan Fees Prism and Prism 365 reports, within 30 seconds, you have the ability to create a benchmark that allows you to compare the record keeping investment, TPA, and advisory fees to plans of a similar size. So if you have a plan sponsor, whether they're a client or a prospect that wants you to answer the question for them, hey, we're a $5 million plan paying 80 basis points to our record keeper. Is that too much? You can quickly pull up the Plan Fees Prism report, download a quick 4 or 5 page report, and show the plan sponsor exactly where they fall in comparison to thousands of plans of similar sizes. So this is one of the most popular reports that we have in the RPAG tool suite. It's something that our advisors are using on an annual basis to make sure that their fees are in line, not only on the record keeping and TPA side, but also their own internal fees on the advisor side as well. And then lastly here, you can't mention automation without talking about RFP Express. RFP Express is a report we rolled out a little over a year ago now that allows you to get instant quotes directly from the top record keepers in the industry. So instead of having to wait a few business days to get quotes from record keepers that are specific to your plan information, you have the ability through RFP Express to get real-time pricing information from the top record keepers in the industry. One of the other things I want to mention with this that's becoming very popular within RFP Express is if your firm has any proprietary TAP, MAP, 338 products or things like that, let us know here at RPAG. We can absolutely build those PEP and MEP and 338 products, small plan solutions into RFP Express so that you can churn out pricing quotes for those products in real time and compare them to other record keeping products that you'll see throughout the industry. So it's been a fun one that we've worked on with a lot of advisory firms that I highly recommend if you leverage those small plan products to approach us about. Second to last here, talking about some of the automation within RPAG. I know we've talked about some of the automation within our platform, but I want to touch on a couple of things that I'd be remiss to speak about if I didn't mention them in terms of automation. So the first one here is automated meeting minutes. And again, this is another one that if you're an RPAG advisor and you're not using automated meeting minutes, I think you're really missing out. So real quickly here, I want to do a quick live demo of how automated meeting minutes work. And if any of you on the phone here have ever created an executive summary of a meeting, you know that it can take 30, 45 minutes to an hour to put together. But through RPAG, right in our advisor portal here, let's say I just did a meeting with Luke's sample client here and I need to create an executive summary of that meeting. I can go down to the meeting minutes section and click on this plus sign. And let's say for all intents and purposes, we did a investment review meeting with this plan. So I'm going to go ahead and tie this investment review report to these meeting minutes. And the system then is going to pull information that is specific to this investment review report right into these meeting minutes. So let's say this is our Q2 2024 investment review. And I can go down the screen here. I can select who on our team attended the meeting, who at the committee attended the meeting. And then as I scroll further down the screen here, you're going to see different topics that we can mark that were discussed at the meeting. Now, where the automation comes into play here is, for instance, under investment due diligence. If I check off this investment analysis summary box, this is going to pull in automatically investment information specific to that report that we ran. So you can see it's pulling in the assets that were in the plan as of the date we presented that report. As we continue to scroll down here, you'll see it'll give us a list of the funds that we said were acceptable, the funds that we're putting on the watch list, and then any funds that we're going to be replacing as well. Now, these meeting minutes are not specific to just investment information. If I click on the legislative update button here, it's going to put in a quick write-up of the new legislation that's specific to the retirement regulatory landscape. If I want to include a quick summary of the fee information in the plan, I can do that as well. And then if I scroll all the way to the bottom of the screen here and hit save and generate report, the system is going to create a document that is going to have all of the information that I just put together in that report. So you can see here, this is the document that we just created together in, a minute or so. And it has all the investment fee and legislative information that I need in the report. The other thing with this report too, along with pretty much every other deliverable that you'll see in the RPAG tool suite, is that it can be private labeled to your book of business. So you can change the color scheme within our deliverables. You can replace the RPAG logo that you see there with your firm's logo. You can include your client's logo on the document as well. So you can really make these meeting minutes look like your own. And then similarly, we also have a automated meeting agenda tool that works very, very similarly. You can create templates that you use for meeting agendas, include information from reports, and you can include, again, your brand, your logo, all of that different type of stuff. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but it is also worth mentioning the service plan within each of your clients' pages within RPAG, so that if you have kind of a standard service model that you use across your book of business, you can actually store that service model within RPAG. And then the system, whenever you're creating a new plan with a click of a button, will load in your standard service model that you provide to each of your plans in your book of business. And then all you need to do is put in the date that those services are going to be provided. So again, the system will notify you when you have upcoming meetings, upcoming tasks, and things like that. So service plan is a big piece, and then also the fiduciary briefcase as well. Again, if you need a place to store your plan sponsors fiduciary documentation. The fiduciary briefcase is a great place to do that. If you want a quick and easy way to deliver reports to your clients, the fiduciary briefcase can do that as well for you. Again, one of the cool enhancements that we've made over the last year or so is we have added to some of the customization capabilities within the fiduciary briefcase. So you now have more abilities to customize this briefcase and what your clients are going to see when they access it, as well as some of the notification capabilities within it. A couple other things, a couple other hidden gems within RPAG is the provider fund change notices function. So if you've run an investment review report and in the process of running that report, you've said, hey, we're going to replace Fund A with Fund B, our system can actually automatically generate an email that you can send to a record keeper to actually initiate that fund change. So our system will look at the report that you're running and saying, hey, plan ABC is getting rid of fund X and replacing it with fund Y. Can you please make these fund changes for us? So the system can automate that email for you and write that up automatically. Again, you can customize that email as well. And then the other thing too here is the note section within RPAG. So if you are tracking your interactions with a client and, let's say the CFO of a plan gives you a call, the HR director gives you a call, and you want to make sure that you log that interaction, you can do that with just a click of a button on each plan's page. And again, one of the new enhancements with this notes feature is that the notes actually now tie into the task management system within RPAG. So if the HR director on a plan gives me a call and says, hey, Luke, I need you to schedule a new meeting with us to go over our participant education program. I say, great, hang up the phone, log the note within our notes section here, and then I can also assign a task to whoever is in charge of scheduling on our team and say, hey, can you please reach out to so-and-so and schedule this new meeting so that the next time that person logs into RPAG, they'll get that notification to complete that specific tasks. Wrapping up here, I wanted to briefly touch on the marketing collateral and support within the RPAG resources that you have access to. When I talk to advisors, one of the things I hear over and over again is that advisors are spending an inordinate amount of time creating presentations, collateral, newsletters that are touch points with their clients and prospects. They spend a lot of time creating them from scratch. And so within the RPAG tool suite, we have a resource center that can create this, that has this collateral created for you already. So that instead of, taking hours of your time and creating something from scratch, you can go onto RPAG, pull whatever you need to right off of our system, and then put your logo and branding on the piece. Everything within the RPAG Resource Center has the ability to be white labeled. And we actually encourage you to do so. So when you pull, say, a presentation from the RPAG Resource Center, you can remove the RPAG branding and replace it with your own. So if you're not familiar with this resource center, we have a bunch of different content and services associated with it. We have one-pagers, monthly newsletters, participant education materials that we are constantly updating within this resource center available on our site. We also do a number of different things on the marketing front, whether it's providing you with social media content guides or providing you with webinar content that you can invite clients and prospects to for CE credits, or even if it's something like a presentation, if you want to do a presentation or a webinar for your clients and prospects about Secure Act 2.0. RPAG has a pre-created presentation available for you that gives you a quick overview of that legislation. So again, you don't have to create it from scratch. Lastly, here is the RPAG cybersecurity report that can be found in this resource center as well. Now, this is one that some of you folks might not be as familiar with. But the cybersecurity report, this is something that we get asked about a lot from RPAG advisors is, if your clients are going through the RFP process and have particular cybersecurity concerns about, hey, what are the cybersecurity practices of a particular record keeper in the industry? RPAG's team has already done all of the legwork for you and gone out and gathered and updated cybersecurity related information on all of the top record keepers in the industry. So if you go into the RPAG Resource Center, you can pull a quick overview of the different cybersecurity practices for different record keepers in the industry. Well, folks, I want to thank you for your time again. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me and going over what RPAG has to offer. Like I mentioned, any questions or if you'd like to talk one-on-one, feel free to shoot me an email there. My email's at the bottom of the screen. And look forward to seeing a lot of you here in Southern California next month at our national conference. Thanks again, folks, and have a great rest of your day.